Emma Raducanu continued her fine form in North America with 2 consecutive straight-set wins at the Canadian Open. The British #1 Raducanu had reached the SF of the Washington Open last week, and with her win in the first round of the Canadian Open, she had become only the 3rd British player to have claimed over 20 WTA 1000 main draw wins. Following that first-round triumph against her good friend, Elena Gabriela Ruse, she said, "It is extremely difficult, because she had spent a lot of time together off-court in practices with Ruse, but she's pleased with her performance." Following that tricky challenge, Emma Raducanu has now also earned a victory against America's Peyton Stearns in the R64. She defeated Stearns by 6-2, 6-4, and with this win, she has now secured her spot in the 3rd round in Montreal for the very first time in her career. She now has a win-loss record of 22-15 this season. So far, this has been the most consistent season for her. But can she hold on to her impressive run at one of her favorite venues? Shortly after completing her match against Stearns, Emma Raducanu shared her thoughts on reaching the 3rd round at this tournament for the very first time in her career. "I was actually born in Canada. For me, it means so much to be able to do well here," she said in her on-court interview. Emma Raducanu has a mixed heritage. She was born in Toronto, Canada, to a Romanian father and a Chinese mother. Her parents later moved to London when she was 2 years old, and Raducanu grew up mostly in Bromley, England. As per several reports, she holds both British and Canadian citizenship. Talking about flaunting her multicultural upbringing, previously, she even had an ex-bio saying, "London, Toronto, Bucharest, Shenyang," referencing her hometown, birthplace, and her parents' hometown. Her father, Ian Raducanu, is originally from Romania, but he moved to Canada while working in the finance sector before finally settling down in the UK. He has played a key role in introducing the sport to Emma. Ian ensured a strict upbringing, which helped Emma Raducanu develop a strong mentality right from a very young age. He was in fact in the limelight for being extremely selective with his daughter's coach. Her mother, Ren Zhang, is originally from Shenyang, China, but she moved to Toronto while working in the finance industry, where she met her husband, Ian Raducanu. She has played a major role in providing support to Raducanu's tennis career. Once, while talking about her parents, Emma Raducanu said, "On my mum, she's always instilled a lot of discipline and respect for other people into me. I think having parents like I do, they always push me. They have high expectations. I've always tried to live up to that." When it comes to expectations, after seeing her performances on the North American hardcourt swing, her fans have now become quite optimistic about her chances of winning yet another major. But will it be the 2025 US Open? Tennis experts analyze Emma Raducanu's chances of winning another Grand Slam. Ever since her 2021 US Open triumph, injuries and a lack of form have plagued Emma Raducanu's run to success in her career. Maintaining herself fit enough to play more matches has been her biggest goal. However, in 2025, she managed to get back on track a bit with some really impressive runs. After making it to the QF of the Miami Open and the HSBC Championships, she reached the SF of the City Open. Although she lost that SF match against Anna Kalinskaya in straight sets, she looked quite pleased to have improved 3 key aspects of her game. "I think the areas I have improved, 1. My competitiveness. I think that's one of my bigger strengths when I am focused and in the zone," said Emma Raducanu. Following that, she went on to add that she thinks that her serve has also improved a lot. "And the third one? I think just movement of my defensive skills has probably been the biggest improvement," she said. Can these improvements help her realize success on bigger stages? Tennis legend Pam Shriver and Rennie Stubbs believe that Emma Raducanu can win another Grand Slam title, even if the Brit has fallen back after a series of disappointments since her emphatic triumph in 2021. The former British player, Barry Cowan, recently also shared his thoughts about Raducanu's chances at the 2025 US Open. He said, "Yeah, I think grass and fast hard courts are her best surfaces. I think the reason for that is that she is a great timer of a tennis ball." Cowan said that this was one of the key factors in Raducanu's mounting success at the 2021 US Open. He believes Raducanu now needs to play more matches to get back in better shape and form. In a revelation that left fans stunned and headlines spinning, Emma Raducanu made a bold and unexpected claim during a candid interview at the Canadian Open. "I'm not exactly from the United Kingdom. At least, not entirely in the way people think." The statement sent ripples through the tennis world, coming from a player who has long been celebrated as Britain's tennis darling since her historic US Open win in 2021. But behind the Union Jack flags and British media frenzy, Raducanu opened up about her deeper, more complex identity, one that transcends borders, traditions, and labels. Speaking to a group of international journalists in Montreal, Raducanu elaborated, "Yes, I represent Great Britain, and I'm proud to wear that flag. But I've always felt like I come from everywhere. I'm British by birth, but my roots go so much deeper. Romanian Chinese, even Canadian in spirit sometimes. I don't feel like I fit into just one box." The 21-year-old tennis star was born in Toronto, Canada, to a Romanian father and Chinese mother, a background she's mentioned before in passing. But this time, her tone was different. There was a sense of reclaiming her narrative, of gently pushing back against being boxed into a purely British identity that, while celebratory, often overlooks the layers beneath. "I feel just as at home walking through a market in Bucharest or celebrating Lunar New Year with my mum's side of the family," she said. "Those moments shaped me as much as British school uniforms and rainy London mornings." The reaction from fans was immediate and deeply personal. Across social media, people from multicultural backgrounds praised Raducanu for voicing what many of them feel daily: the struggle and strength of holding multiple identities in one heart. Emma just became even more relatable. One fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter, "She's not abandoning Britain, she's embracing her full self." While some traditionalists questioned the timing or motivation behind the statement, most interpreted it as an evolution, not a departure. It's clear that Raducanu, now more mature and self-aware, is stepping into her role not just as a global athlete, but as a global citizen. British tennis officials issued a supportive statement shortly after her interview, affirming their continued pride in her representation. "Emma is a remarkable ambassador for the sport and for our nation," the Lawn Tennis Association said. "Her diverse background is a strength, not a contradiction." For Raducanu, the message was simple but powerful. You can be many things at once: a British champion, a Romanian daughter, a Chinese granddaughter, a Canadian-born citizen of the world. Do you think Emma Raducanu has a real chance at this year's US Open? Let us know in the comments.